Whoa, it's Wulzy. Welcome back to the 1.9 building series episode. I'm gonna voice over this intro because I just did a sick run from zero pretty much all the way to the end, apart from that one ball click. There's a couple of changes you'll see in the wave. I've moved one of the blue portals a little bit just because it was a little annoying to play. But yeah, everything else is looking pretty smooth so far. Apart from the ball transition, I'm a bit lazy. I don't want to do that today. I'm gonna leave it for another episode. Maybe the ending of the whole series when I'm just polishing and putting everything back together. The whole level's pretty much fragmented at this point. Not much really links on from one another. But you know what? That's okay because it's most fun to build this way in my opinion. There's now a failsafe at the beginning that basically bumps you down into this block. I'm gonna remove these because they show up in the transition somehow. Clean this up the tiniest little bit with this block. Stops you from clicking this blue orb too late and messing everything up. Smooth. We're moving on. Everything goes to black, including the object line here. Let me just double check. Yep. I'm probably gonna hint with a couple of arrows maybe. The best way to do this is to make a circle like this. And then we just make another side of it, which is gonna be yellow or whatever the second play color is. Sure, why not? We've doubled it up there. I'm gonna be putting these arrows through this portal, I think. And at this point, I'm gonna fade the object line back on. Short fade time. It's gonna go to an orange. Hopefully we can have a black and orange part. Why not? Wait, no, the colors for black and orange are a bit sketchy. Nah. We gotta think of another color. Woo! Okay, we're ditching that idea, and we're gonna go with some invisible swords for a bit, and we're gonna lead on with some stars. You know, the typical 1.9 decoration. Should be pretty simple to pull off. I put lines from the stars too. We can have a white blend. Oh wait, there's no glow pieces. Gotcha. Oh, if I'm doing actual corner pieces, I might as well do a star then. Something like this on 3, which can be white blending. It's not very good look. I kind of prefer it on purple, but I don't want to have too much of the same color. It looks alright. Then at the top of the level with a bunch of different colors, like play color 1 and 2, those specifically, I can make other stars. That might actually just be a better lead for this whole thing. Instead of having the swords and the stars, I could definitely just put the stars on the ceiling. Something like this. And the object can then, the object can go to white and change from black to white constantly. And I can put blocks like so with white edges too. I can have color channel 4 that kind of copies the same thing. So 4 needs to be on non-blending and it needs to change color at the same rate. There we go. So there's our platform and we can have, yep, this is exactly where I'm going to use the same line concept that I thought of earlier. I can actually put lines up the edges of the blocks like this. And I can also do my thing with slope corner pieces on the metal blocks. Mixing in different glow there too. Keeping in mind I'm only allowed the flat glow. And that illuminates that part of the block there. Then I can use regular pulsing blocks with a mix of play color 1 and 2, using play color 2 glow at the bottom and 1 at the top. So let me just line these objects real quick. Do I flip them? No, I think I just leave it as a consistent glow and then change these. 1 and then we can have 2 as well. And because 4 is not on blending, I can now tactically layer these blocks on occasion, not all of the blocks, but some with this glow that kind of textures it a little bit. So now finally I can go ahead with my structuring little by little, building up this block to be something interesting and cool. I can rotate these slightly too as they go up. Hey, okay. Align these blocks a little bit more. I think I'm gonna make my gameplay now. Now that I'm comfortable with what I'm going with, I can now strategically structure my objects the way that I want them. I actually have a goal in mind for this part now, which is interesting. Ooh, now, am I gonna use slopes here? This is a weird one. I could probably make triangle shapes like this. Yeah. And put a mix of play color 1 and 2 triangles to fill it up with a 4 triangle on the inside. Something like this. Smooth. And I can put these corner pieces on too. Man, this is all falling into place. Fortunately, these stars are going to get in the way. I guess I do, because I don't really need them. Oh, there's so much to be deleted here. I should probably put the stars in last, so I know where I can really put them. I'm going to have to redo the glow as well. Ugh. So now I need some sort of structuring that's going to help me follow that gameplay curve. And I can only do so much with blocks, I feel, because I don't want to get rid of the stars on the bottom. These lines can cut off there. That's fine. Probably going to end up using some invisible blocks. I don't want to go too crazy with that, because obviously it's not a great idea. Alright, so now I'm going to turn on RGB effects just to see how this part looks with different colors, and it seems to be a pretty good match all the way around because of the black and white contrast. When the colors overlap, it doesn't look too bad for that reason. Yeah, this looks decent actually, and I've barely added any other color to it, which is cool. Like, yeah, I could easily just add some ground spikes and make the stars more interesting down there. Maybe a background change. Ooh, to gray? That looks cool because the objects are black, and that can be in the wah wah wah. Yeah, that works. I can also add chains here and there on these colors, but hopefully bring some extra detail in without it just being, you know, plain colors. On the sides of objects too. It's like a decent plan as long as I can find a color that would match every color. We can also add some portal decoration. Let me make another circle real quick using some 3D lines. It's a little bit patchy, but it should be fine as long as I put... Ooh, I can't really scale anything down though. Hold on. If I could use corner pieces in an interesting way. How is this gonna work? Put corner pieces. Would that work? Would that be a neat detail that I can put on the edges? I think it's actually gonna work, which is funny. Very unexpected play. That sticks out like a sore thumb. Maybe it's just gotta go underneath. Like, I wasn't expecting this to not be used for a portal, but it works the way I'm using it now. And I could probably branch it from itself like this. Aha, what if I had huge sections like this in the middle of the level, where it then branched into these patterns? There's one layer of it, and I could slip some color into some of these bricks. Then we can flip it upside down, and oppositely, yeah. It's probably the weirdest background I've ever went for, but it could be something interesting. Oh, that could be something real nice. If I leave the objects as black at this point, start fading them back on a white afterwards, with some black blocks in the foreground, and a pulsing play color object behind. This is a very strange build. We have a pad on the end. If we raise the background bright enough, then this will be fine, I believe. Copy paste these objects enough, they should go black. Interesting. Then I can start some ground spikes at the bottom, which cover a lot of this up. Try and make it go naturally into the level. So I can now put a portal down here, and that's like a new segue into the next part. But I can definitely change these colors because they're kind of lame. Keeping it on blending at all times. So one changes to white first, then black blending, so invisible. But 2 goes to black blending first, then white. So it's the opposite way around. And I guess we can make one of these pulses for 4, just to shed some light on the color there, I guess. I don't really know what to do at this point. I've kind of focused all of my efforts into making some weird part stand out. It works though, it does work. Just neatening this up at the moment with different ground spikes that cover less space so I can, you know, split lines in between and make it more interesting perhaps. Kinda cruising, honestly. I haven't used color channel 3 at all, which was originally going to be white, but I think I'm going to change it to dark purple blending so I can put these circles like this. I don't even know. With a bit of variation to allow other deco, we can definitely put these circles in. And these aren't scaled, don't worry, this is still 1.9, just using the different sizes of circles to my advantage. And then we can also put, this could be messy, but if I just stack up some of these whirling objects along the ground, that would make for some pretty cool blurry deco at the bottom here and there, especially at this part. Let's see how this looks in game, because I haven't tested that at all, and there's a lot of blurry detail. Yeah, this tints it so well in my opinion. So I guess we just keep on rocking with what we've got. I mean, of course I can add some small details using 3D objects. Also using that purple just to make some extra tiny little detail. It's going to really help me out in the long run because this is really what's tying this together. A lot of the background is black. This looks good. Just copy paste this around and point it at different parts of the level. Even overlay it on the purple, to be honest. It looks fine. Messiness isn't really an issue. Somehow I've managed to dodge that bullet. I think with the nature of the deco, how it's all overlapped definitely helps. Now, do I want to add huge invisible saws to the ground? That's another option. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe above the stars. Make them have a purpose, you know? In which case, I can actually take one of these stars, probably link it together so I don't lose it, and then put another invisible saw on top. There we go. So now I have some other detail to keep the player on track. Okay, this is neat. I really like this part. It screams experimental 1.9. I think because of the 3D usage here and there, the different lines. And the breakup there, which is pretty funny. Alrighty, filling in the final blocks over here. We're going to actually exit into a cube, which is not for this video, but it's there nonetheless. It's planned. It's in the level. We are going for it. Cool. Okay, we're working on it. Nice. Let me see if I can just nab a piece of the ground over here. Yep, beautiful. How much can I get away with copy pasting? Probably all of it, to be honest. Gonna take a few less stars and just rotate them differently. Yeah. And we gotta take more of these bubbles. I don't know what they are. They're just kind of like circles that exist for no reason. But it's okay. It's okay. Copy pasting is actually so funny. You're literally just taking parts of the level that work and just reusing them. Sometimes it can go really badly, but most of the time it's fine. We're pretty much done with this part already. It doesn't feel like it's lasted very long, but that's because I've copy pasted everything in existence. Now, to be fair, it did take me a while to put these concepts in. I didn't just blaze through this for no reason. Okay, I think this is gonna be it. That lasted no time at all, but we now have an exit into this cube. Again, my transitions throughout the level are atrocious. Most notably, this transition between the build-up cube and the memory ball. Let me just record a bot run real quick while I talk about a few things. As I said, I'm trying to get those fixed, and I'm not sure how long this series is supposed to be running for, to be honest. I'm not sure how long I'm actually going to make the level, because obviously there's quite a bit of this song left, and it wouldn't make sense just to end on a random note, so I gotta make a commitment soon. Let me run this back with the bot on replay mode. Shout out to Absolute for providing Mega Hack V7 beta. Let me see. The transition out is definitely dodgy, but it works, right? And this part's pretty. This is like an actual 1.9 part you might have seen back in the day. It's cool. I'm down for it. It doesn't last very long, to be honest. I probably could have extended the cube a little bit and make an easier transition, but yeah, that's another 1.9 building episode done. I don't know, I feel like that was the most 1.9-y 1.9 part I've built so far. The rest is flashy and slightly modernized in its block choices and usages and stuff, but I don't know, I just think I've done well with it. Thank you for watching this 1.9 building episode. Check the links in the description, leave a like and subscribe, and have a good day.